Ever wondered how grandmasters make chess look so easy? It's all about mastering the basics. In just 8 minutes, you will learn everything you need to know about the chessboard and the pieces to kickstart your journey of becoming a chess pro. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you will be ready to make your first move with confidence. The chessboard is an 8x8 grid consisting of 64 squares. The squares alternate in colors, typically in black and white. When setting up a board, make sure white square in your right hand corner. This is a crucial detail to remember. Let's meet the pieces. Each player has one king, and the king moves one square in any direction. This is the most important piece, and the game ends if the king gets checkmated. And each player has one queen. The queen moves typically like a king, but in any number of squares. So it can go in any direction until the end of the board. And each player has two rooks. The rooks move in straight lines. So they go like this, and like this. And each player has two bishops. And the bishops go here, and they move like an X shape, so they go diagonally. And there is a light square bishop and a dark square bishop, so they will always stay sorry for the arrows, they will always stay in the same color. And each player has two knights. The knights move like an L shape, so a knight in the center of the board, for example, can go to all these squares and forming an L when moving. So can go to 8 squares by the shape of L, and it can jump over pieces. And each player has 8 pawns. The pawns can move only forward, but they capture diagonally. So they can't actually capture while moving forward. So I will give you an example to see when a pawn can capture a piece. So for example, if we play e4 and the opponent plays d5, here we can capture the pawn diagonally, like this. But if we play e4 and the opponents play e5, here we can't capture the pawn, either the opponent can't capture the pawn. Since we are in the pawns, let's speak about one special move that's called en passant. So if the pawns move usually one square forward, but only in the first move you can move your pawns by 2 squares. So like this. But if there is a pawn here or here, and you move your pawn by 2 squares, the 2 pawns can capture you en passant. They don't have to be 2 pawns. If there is just one pawn here, it can capture it, and it's called en passant. And on the other side too. So if there is a pawn here and you play 2 moves forward, here you can get captured en passant. And for the final move, it's a special move that I want to show you. It's called castling. So castling happens when you develop all your pieces and there is no pieces between your king and the rooks. And you didn't touch the king, you didn't move the king, and you didn't move the rook that you want to castle the king with. So the castling happens like this. You either castle king side or queen side. So if you want to castle king side, you move the king 2 squares to the right and the rooks to its left. And if you want to castle queen side, you move the king 2 squares to the left and the rook to its right. The primary objective in a chess game is to checkmate your opponent's king. So I will show you an example of a very famous checkmate. It's called scholar's mate. So here, after we play e4, d5 and bishop c4, if the opponent, for example, plays knight c6, we go queen to h5, Here, if the opponent makes the mistakes by playing knight f6 to attack the queen, we can checkmate the opponent on the f7 square. What's a checkmate? A checkmate is basically a check where the king can't move out of the check and we can't capture the move that's checking the piece that's checking our king, and or we can't block the check. So let's see what's a check. A check is, for example, this is a check because the bishop is seeing the king, so the king can be captured, is in a square that where he can be captured. So either you block, or either you capture the bishop if it's possible. Like here it's not possible, but let's say you block this way and the opponent takes again. In this case you can't block, but you can take, and you can even take with your king in the case where this bishop isn't protected by another piece. In that case you need to take with another piece, block, or move the king. If you can't do anything of that, that's mean you have got checkmated and you lost the game. Now that you know the basics of chessboard and pieces, you are ready to start playing. Remember, practice is key to improving your skills. In our next video we will explore some basic strategies to help you win your first game. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more chess tips and strategies. Comment below with any questions or topics you would like us to cover next. Thanks for watching AB Checkmate and a happy playing.